Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I'm doing something that I haven't done in a long time, and that is I'm watching the Auburn Tigers in the SEC Championship for basketball. Auburn has not been known to have the best basketball team over the years. I guess in basketball, one of the things that Auburn is most famous for is the fact that Charles Barkley played on Auburn's team, and that's about it. And so right now I'm watching Auburn play Tennessee in the SEC Championship. Very rare that Auburn does anything in basketball. Anyway, moving along, the first thing I saw today that I thought was a very good thing to give everyone a reminder. XRP Veteran put this up, at XRP_veteran. He says, replay this over and over again and understand the long-term value of XRP and ignore the short-term manipulated price actions. We know Ripple's working tight with regulators, governments, IMF, Federal Reserve Task Force. As recently, David Schwartz mentioned at an interview, not if, not when, but it will happen, confirms a clear sign and confidence in what is coming for XRP. But if you watch this video, it's basically Brad Garlinghouse saying, look, if XRP if we solve the use case, he says we're working with regulators and things like that, and ultimately if XRP solves some of these problems, having to do with cross-border payments and moving money faster and less expensive than it has been done traditionally, like with SWIFT, that the price of XRP should reflect that over time. And this is a really good short reminder. This thing is only a few seconds, as I recall, this video he did, where he's just basically making that overall point, and you should watch it. This was from X-Men XRP, at XRP33, and he sent me this article here. EOS founders massive Bitcoin prediction plus, and then they always do this for the search engines. They always say plus, and then they name a bunch of digital assets. For those of you that don't know, that's what they're doing. And also, for those of you that don't know, a lot of times when you see YouTubers putting titles out there that always have Ripple and XRP, it's not that we don't understand that XRP is the digital asset and Ripple is a company that represents one use case. We know that. But to the search engines, I believe they rank you higher when you put Ripple and XRP in the title together. And it's just a thing that a lot of us do for that reason. It's not because we're trying to create confusion. But this article is talking about the guy from he's the guy that founded EOS, and he tweeted, over the next 2 decades, Bitcoin will replace gold as the leading commodity to store value. Now, I think these tweets, let me see, I might need to do a refresh. And I think these will show up as the tweets. I think that it kind of got messed up there. Let's see if they come up as the tweets when it reformats here. Let's see if we can get it to do right. Okay, here we go. That's what I was trying to get to. Over the next 2 decades, Bitcoin will replace gold as the leading commodity to store value. And this is Brendan Bloomer, I guess you would say. He started EOS, I guess. And then someone says, so POW does have a future and a leading one at that. And he says most of the activity will flow to scalable layer 2 solutions, but Bitcoin's awareness and liquidity will continue to compound. So I read what he's saying here to say kind of what I've been saying, which is Bitcoin is probably going to get this store of value thing only because, like he says, Bitcoin's awareness. I think what he's really saying there is that Bitcoin has that name recognition just from being the first one through the door. And however it was done, I think that the powers that be got Bitcoin to the politicians and the people who make the decisions first, and therefore it's being accepted on the front end, that and Ethereum from what I can tell. And I think that's why he believes, just like I do, that Bitcoin is going to be one of the ones that goes places for that reason. Also in here, this is a thing where Bitstamp had put this out, this little graphic out, and it says the crypto exchange Bitstamp has released an overview on Ripple gateways and IOUs, which allow businesses to issue and send tokens that are redeemable for fungible asset such as US dollar, gold, or crude oil. So when you get a chance, go look at this diagram. It's a really good diagram for the Ripple gateways, so you can see how it works. Next, this is from Stuart XRP. Now, this is a Barry Silbert video from 2018. He says, institutional money has not entered deep pools of capital that could propel digital currencies to the next level. Haven't started investing. Start seeing headlines of money being allocated, and there's going to be a tidal wave of capital to flow in. What the most interesting part of this is here towards the end. What he says is, and remember, this video is in 2018. He says the money's not coming in yet. He goes, somewhere, I think he said somewhere within the 1 year to 3 years, somewhere within 1 to 3 years. And he said this in 2018. It's not going to be a question of whether this is a digital assets or a new asset class. It's going to be a question of how much of your portfolio is allocated to this new asset class. And that's kind of what I've said all along. I believe that somewhere between 0.5 and 2% of portfolios that across the world, whether it's financial advisors talking to retail investors or whether it's financial advisors talking to institutions or endowments, they're going to be allocating somewhere between 0.5 and 2% of all portfolios in the world to digital assets, probably a basket of digital assets, and the top 10 or so will be included in those baskets. That's how I think that this is going to go down. And he just confirmed it. And remember, Barry Silbert is the CEO of the Digital Currency Group. They've got their hands, they're invested in every major blockchain company that you can name. Okay. Next, this is an article that I found that was really good. Okay. Instead of having to watch the whole video, they summarized. This is David Schwartz. Ripple CTO talks about Bitcoin, blockchain, XRP, and Swift. This is from SXSW 2019. And they did a good summary of some of the things that he said. Like he said, he discovered Bitcoin in 2011 and it was love at first sight. This is one of the more important things he says in here. It says, although a lot of people in the Bitcoin community thought the proof of work was the magic element in Bitcoin, what Jed McCaleb, now remember, Jed McCaleb was with Ripple in the beginning, and now he's does Stellar. I think he may have just been replaced at Stellar. I read something like that recently. But he's one of the guys who's one of the smart guys that got all this going. Okay, so he said what Jed McCaleb, David Schwartz, and a few other people realized was the secret sauce of Bitcoin was that all the state information is public and that POW was just a solution for the double spend problem. And so there's several interesting comments that he made in here, but I thought that was one of the more interesting things, that they realized the secret sauce was the idea that the blockchain is transparent and you can go and look at transactions and see how much money, how much Bitcoin this address has or this address and that type of thing. Okay, moving on, let's look at some adoption. I like to show you things every time I see them of what's coming. This is from Chewbacca XRP at Cyber 9900. I'm at Casino Resorts World Manila in the Philippines. Seriously, they accept crypto to buy or to sell. Pretty damn cool. First casino I've seen this long digital asset short the banks. And he posted this picture. We accept Bitcoin, Stellar, Ripple, Ethereum, Dash, Zcash, Monero, Litecoin. It's actually XRP, casino operator. But how cool is that? And how cool is this? My friend thought I'd get a kick out of this and took these pictures while visiting the Suzuka circuit in Japan. Suzuki, I think is what that is. These are pictures of race cars that are advertising Bitcoin. How cool is that? You will see XRP on a race car before it's over, folks. Write it down. Okay, and this I thought was funny. I saw this today. This is a great thing to show you on a Sunday. From Tom Randolph at Rockerest. I don't know if he's still on Twitter or not. This is from 2011. Well, Bitcoin has stabilized at almost exactly $14 a coin. I'm tired of waiting for a jump, so I'm taking the loss and getting my cash back. Whoops. And finally, I want to show you something that I've never talked about on this channel before that I was looking at this morning. I've always heard a lot about Monero, and I want those of you that don't know about Monero, I wanted to tell you something that's extremely cool about this digital asset. I do not own any Monero and don't plan to own any Monero, but Monero is interesting because it is one of those digital assets. It's probably the most recognized digital asset for having one feature that is pretty crazy. Monero is untraceable. Like, let's say, now think about this for a minute. If you own 2 Bitcoin and you give me your Bitcoin address, I can go to Bitcoin Explorer and I can see that Bitcoin there. If you send it out, I'll see that you sent it out. I'll see where you sent it. I can go check how many Bitcoins in that wallet. It's completely transparent. Well, Monero, which I'm pretty sure is a mined digital asset, is different in that it's not traceable. Sending and receiving addresses as well as transacted amounts are obfuscated by default. Transactions on the Monero blockchain cannot be linked to a particular user or real-world identity. Now, folks, I've said this before. First of all, every time I talk to you about anything having to do with taxes, you pay your taxes because one way or another, the governments of the world will figure out how much money you have, and if you didn't pay taxes, then they'll get you. But this right here is what I believe. This is the reason I believe that these governments are going to eventually realize that this is going to be too difficult to deal with, trying to track all of this. If you can imagine, someone could go into Monero and then come out and go back into another thing, and that money, poof, it's disappeared off the radar. Nobody knows what it was. Well, for this reason, I believe that you will see flat sales taxes across the world, because I think that you're not going to be able to they can try to ban these all they want, but they're not going to be able to do it on a worldwide basis. And for that reason, get ready. This could literally get rid of taxing authorities and have governments that have to pass like flat consumption taxes on what you buy for this reason. And I think that will be a good thing. I don't think that'll be a bad thing. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that Monero is completely untraceable. That's pretty wild. Thank you for listening.